The first job you need to do on this front elevation of the church is to mark it out in accordance with the plan that you've given in the kit. In this particular case, I've actually shown the front door to the porch in for clarity. Scribing along each line to a depth of about 1 millimetre carefully. Use a chopping board for protection. This is a very careful exercise, and you need to make sure, obviously, you don't cut yourself when you're doing it. Slice the scalpel into the material and just draw it along very carefully at an acute angle so you can pull that little bit of boarding out so you get something that looks like a wavy board. It's not difficult, it's just a careful job so you don't cut yourself, and it's a pretty quick job as well. Another tip when you're cutting out the boards is to carefully put your knife and do a slight pressure cut into each individual slat. This helps when you're cutting along with your scalpel and carefully just go up to the edge and it'll come out easily. It just is easier to cut out. The same goes for the vertical sections. Just put your knife in at a slight angle, very carefully. And on the other side. And you can carefully just scribe along the slat there, and as you go down, once again going down about 1 millimetre. has the window frames fitted around the outside. Once you've marked it out, you can then scribe your lines with your sharp knife and take your scalpel and cut out the Now after that laborious little marking out job, which probably took about 20 minutes, I'm now going to start to sculpt the roof. Now I'm going to use two different tools this time, a flat blade carving knife and a V-notch carving knife. The flat blade carving knife is going to be used to just carefully sculpt out the sections of the tile to look like a cedar shingle. Now if you get it irregular, once it's painted it looks a bit more like a cedar shingle. So the intention is to carve down at a slight angle to the horizontal lines that you've scribed, and the tiles then begin to come to life. You then take the gouge, the V-notch tool, which is that one there, and you gouge along between each tile. This is once you've done the whole roof, and it gives you the join between the tiles. Two things to note before you assemble the roof. First, to put a chamfer on the top of the side so the roof will fit snugly. That one's been chamfered off. This one is still at 90 degrees as originally cut on the side. Needs to be taken off and chamfered. The second point to note on the roof is where you have the ridge, just to put the chamfer on each ridge end so it sits properly when you place them on the gable ends of the building. So there's the roof completed, and I've also put in a couple of supports at either end of the roof to aid centralisation when it's on the building, and also to give it a bit more rigidity. So there's the roof in place. The next steps are to make the porch. So I've actually pre-made the porch, which is here. Made the steps for the porch, the sides all glued together, the frontage put on. The roof sections have been manufactured and chamfered. Porch section just needs to be glued into situation on the front of the church, and then we can glue the roof sections on, and then basically that's the main building completed. All we have to do is put the cupola and tower on top.
exercise for you.